So, David, a 1-0 win against Trafford today, a hard-fought game, would you say?
Really tough game, not many chances at either end. I think Tom had a couple of saves from distance. I don't think they keep a save early on from Josh from a 40-yarder, which was a good save. But then we missed a couple of big chances, missed the target with them. So, some bright spark went on Twitter this morning. Now there's only ever been 1-0. It looked very much like it's going to be another one today.
Yeah, it did feel like that, and it did seem like a game where chances were hard to come by from both teams. Is that just both teams defended well, or?
I think it was a bit of tiredness. I know I talked to Danny before the game, the lower numbers, they've got a lot of injuries at the moment, so Aston missed out today. So I think from their perspective, perhaps a few tired legs. That probably meant if you look how they set up, they played quite deep and looked to it on the break and with set pieces. I thought we defended set pieces incredibly well. At the other end, when we did get in a couple of times, I thought our finishing was wayward. I thought our final ball was poor at times, and I thought they defended incredibly well when they had to. So it wasn't a great game in terms of lots of flowing football, and I don't think the pitch was conducive to that. A bit sticky today. Probably needed a bit of rain on it, but it was hard fought. It was two teams who were giving their all. So I think from that perspective, it was a good spectacle.
Do you feel like it's the fact you said there when we come to attacking, we've missed a couple of chances today. Do you feel like there's just something not quite there at the moment in terms of we've had a good amount of possession today, but not quite found the final ball or the killer touch at the end?
I think if you look across the games we've played so far, I think that's a theme. In big moments, we've not made the most of it. Whitton's a good example. I missed a penalty, but we had a couple of other chances or opportunities to, sticks in the mind who you might get in behind and stun the ball in that game. And it's things like that, and it's a little bit of care and concentration. We saw it today where we had opportunities to cross and they were turned down, and when the crosses did go in, there were little floaty crosses that the keeper was claiming comfortably. And then when the chances do come, because they're kind of few and far between, I think players snatch them a little bit. Even if perhaps just come on, he said he saw it late, the ball was drilled in, but it was a free header. Umar's ball broke to him. You would expect him to at the time come there, he just kind of pulled his shot a little bit. So I think there's a combination of factors, but it will come back to bite us. It already has in 2 games. I think we've been behind for 30-35 minutes across the entire season, but that's cost us 6 points away from home, and it's because we haven't been ruthless enough when we've had the upper hand. We haven't taken our chances, and then in big moments when we defended well. I thought today we did that though. I thought we defended exceptionally well in those big moments when balls were being put into our box and we had to stand up and be counted. I thought everybody did that.
I think like you said, Luke and Josh defended really, really well, but Chris Thompson today, again, showing what he's about with some good saves, but that big punch right at the end from a dangerous free kick in shows that he's not afraid to come and get rid of it like that.
Yeah, he didn't really make a couple of comfortable saves from distance. There was nothing really that you kind of think, well, actually one in the first half that was offside, which was an excellent save.
Yeah.
Apart from that, he had a fairly quiet game, so it's the fact he's concentrated, and in the 89th or 91st minute, whatever it was, when that cross comes in, and there were a lot of bodies. He was brave, he came through the crowd, he got a good punch on it, out to the edge of the box, away from the danger area. And he's done that 2 or 3 times where he's just come and caught something under a bit of pressure. And he's so important. If you've got a keeper who can do that, it'll win you 10 points a season. So he's barely put a foot wrong since he's been here. He's just a very, very competent, steady keeper, and then he makes exceptional saves. His shot stopping is up there with the best, but everything else he's doing, he's kicking, he's catching, he's coming for crosses. He's barely put a foot wrong. It's just comforting. I think the defenders relax a little bit knowing that he's behind them.
It's on Chris Thompson. It's a real plus for him for the way he's settled in. That he's taken over from Tom Watson last year, who had an exceptional season. His shot stopping was unbelievable, but we haven't necessarily missed Tom in that way, and that he's just settled and looked at home, and we've not struggled in that department. You can't say much more.
And I think I said this before, but Chris was my vote for goalkeeper of the season. You can't vote for your own players. I think Tom would have been, I would have expected Tom to be up there, although I think being a lone player that probably has an impact. So I wasn't, when the opportunity to bring Chris came up, I never hesitated, because I just know what a good goalkeeper he is for this level, and he's shown that. I think he's shown that every game so far.
And you must be pleased with the way that it looked like it was going to peter out into a 0-0 draw, only the second one in history between the two sides, but that we keep going. We get the corner, it's cleared, but the ball in from Will Shepherd's an excellent ball back in, and then a really good flick from Luke Barlow to win it.
Yeah, I thought Will put some really good balls in from set pieces today. It's one of the first I thought Luke headed just over, which was a great ball as well. But it was that idea of we wanted to get something. We felt at half time we probably had enough to win the game, but we just had to put balls into good areas, and it was one of the few times the cross was good, and it was a great header, really good flick. And Luke's first ever goal as well. I don't think he knew what to do once he scored. He just set off running. But you could see what it meant. The players went with him. I think we needed that after Newcastle. I thought we were below par. I thought we conceded 2 very poor goals. I thought Newcastle were good and they got a good win today, but we needed to bounce back quickly. And that goal kind of meant a lot. That's 3 wins from 3 in the league at home, and we've talked a lot about making Seal Park an incredibly difficult place to come, and I think we're starting that.
And the league, we don't really pay too much attention to league positions in August, but we hit the end of August and it just seems to be chop and change. The results today, again, like you said I think in the pre-season video, it's going to be a really tough league with teams beating every team all over the place, really.
Yeah, Kidsgrove were the ones who stand out. If you look at the results so far this season, I think they've won every game so far. Yeah. Really good win against Leeds today. Probably surprised a few, me included. I knew they were a good outfit, but I didn't expect them to start the season so well. I think apart from them, everybody else has had a couple of good wins and a couple of defeats you wouldn't maybe not expect. I think Clitheroe lost at Widnes today, but Widnes have been excellent. Widnes have caught a few off guard. So I honestly think this league will be won by a pretty low points total this year. I think everybody will beat everybody across the course of the season, and it's making sure days like today when we're not out of our flowing best and you're playing against a side who are dogged and hard working, determined and organised, that we managed to pick up the 3 points, because they're going to be big 3 points come the end of the season.
And we can put the league to bed for a little bit now with a FA Cup game and an FA Trophy game to look forward to. Thoughts on the FA Cup game at Bamber Bridge to start off with?
It's going to be a tough game. We're going to see what we can get hold of in terms of their games. They've played a few teams recently where we kind of know people, so I think let's get a couple of recordings and have a look at that. I think with the footballing side, I think they'll get it down and look to play through the thirds. That could suit us. I think they'll be very good at it, but that could suit us. It will be a completely different type of test than today. We've got a couple of bodies missing. I think Will Shepherd's missing, Bailey Marston's missing, which is huge. But it's opportunities for other people, and we've got the squad for exactly that reason. So good test. We go there with kind of no real expectation of winning it, but with it every chance of doing so. So it should be a good occasion. Hopefully the players play with a little bit of freedom. I felt today and I felt Saturday probably a little bit of pressure on them, and it kind of lifts a little bit next week. So hopefully see them enjoy it a little bit more.
And looking ahead to the trophy game here in a couple of weeks' time against Vauxhall Motors, a really good crowd today. Thoughts on that one and getting as many people through the gates as possible to see us?
It's really important for so many different reasons. I mean, financially it's huge that we have good crowds, and we need that to continue to progress as a club. But I think from a player's perspective, having big crowds, we've talked about it so much, it makes a real difference. And crowds have been in, and we've had good crowds, but they've been a little bit quiet. I heard them at Newcastle probably more than I heard them today. So hopefully we can get here in the trophy, we can get a good crowd on, we can get a bit of noise, we can get a bit of atmosphere. I think that will all build it up to making Seal Park a really difficult place that teams don't want to come to. They can be the 12th man, and they have at times over the past 3 years I've been here. Hopefully they can be again this season in big games and push us where we need to be in terms of cup runs and in terms of league position.
Thanks, David. Well done for today.
Cheers, Nathan.